Hi, so this is my conditionals quiz retake. And before I start showing examples, I just want to go into the purpose of if statements and programs. So basically, if statements exist so that your program can adapt, respond, or make choices about whether or not to execute certain portions of code based on some condition that you check while the program is being carried out. So these if statements, are often referred to as conditional statements. And so a conditional statement requires a conditional expression. So a conditional expression is something that is either true or false, and it's what an if statement uses to decide whether or not to execute a certain portion of code. So basically, let me show you the first example here. So example number one, as you can see here, the question is, can you see a rated R movie? So that question will pop up. Then the user enters their age, please enter your age. The user enters their age, and here you can see that if the age that the user enters is greater than or equal to 17, then this portion of code will occur because this conditional expression proved to be true. So then what will pop up is, it looks like you're old enough to watch a rated R movie. And then here, this will pop up also, thanks for verifying. And so, however, if let's say the user inputted an age less than 17 years old, like 15 years old, right? 15. So let's say I inputted 15, then this conditional expression will prove to be false. And so therefore, this message will not come up at all, right? Because this conditional expression is false. Therefore, this certain area of code cannot occur. But this console.log, whatever, thanks for verifying, this message will still come up regardless of whether the conditional expression proved to be true or false, because, that's guaranteed in the code. So now moving on to if-else statements. So an if-else statement lets you check more than one condition at a time. And so here the order of condition really matters because conditions are checked from top to bottom. So the code that gets executed will be the first statement to evaluate, whether it's true. So here here in the code it says, are you old enough to be the president of the United States? So you can see that the user enters their age. So if the age of the user is 35 years old or older, then the statement is, this conditional expression is true, and the user will be told that they are old enough. So here, if you input an age that is greater or equal to 35, then this message, it looks like you're old enough to lead our country, will pop up. And then here, so let's say anything else, right? Else, let's say any other age, any age younger than 35, so 34 years old. If I input 34, else, right? So since this, if I inputted 34 years old or 34 into the input for age, then basically that will prove this conditional expression to be false. So this area of code, this portion of code, will not occur because this conditional expression it was proved to be false here. So then it'll move on to else. So if anything else, then this condition is met, right? So any other age, then, so basically anything younger than 35, less than 35, else, then this will pop up. Sorry, looks like you're not old enough, right? Because this proved to be false here, it's true here because, if else. So this lets you check more than one condition at a time. right? And so, of course, this will still pop up, this thanks for checking, regardless of whether it's this message or this message, but that is guaranteed. And so now moving on to the last example. As you can see here, I now here is an if else if statement, I guess. So you can add an else if clause to an if statement when you have another condition that you want to check. So again, to repeat, each condition in an if else if is checked in order from top to bottom. And the final else clause is executed if all the previous conditions evaluated were proved to be false. So here you see, if user age is less than or equal to 7, then this message, you can watch G-rated movies, will pop up. So if this proves to be false, right? If this condition proves to be false, conditional expression or statement proves to be false, then this then it moves down and is checked here. So else if user age is less than or equal to 12. So basically this ensures, I guess, that any age between 7 and 12, so I guess 8 to 12, this will apply to, right? You can watch G and PG rated movies. If these two conditions, or if these two conditional expressions are false, then prove to be false for this scenario, then it'll keep moving down here to this statement. So else if the user age is less than or equal to 16, then you can watch G, PG, and PG-13 rated movies. And then here, else for the rest of, if all of these prove to be false, right, then these portions of code can't show up. So it'll just result in this. You can watch any movie you want. So to clarify, I guess, as an example, if I was 23 years old, right? Here I input 23 for user age. And so if user age is less than or equal to 7, then eventually, right, this is going to be proved false because 23 is not less than or equal to 7. So then it's going to move down here because, again, each condition in an if-else if is checked in order from top to bottom, right? So now it's moving on here, and then this is going to prove false because I'm older than 12. Then it's going to move on here, and it's going to prove false because I'm older than 16. And then this is going to result in, this is going to be the result. You can watch any movie you want, right? Because you can watch G, PG, PG-13, and rated R movies. So, but then if I were to say, I'm 15 years old, then this would prove false, right? Because I am older than 7 years old. So this line of code would not show. And then here, I am older than 12 years old, right? Because I'm 15. But then when I move down, and so then when I move down here, right? So this will prove to be false for 15 years old. So then when I move down here, this is where it'll stop because 15 years old is less than 16. So this line of code will come up because this has proved to be true. So basically it keeps going until it's proven to be true, So yeah, and then it stops and then the rest of the code falls with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.